I'm gonna-
All right. Hello, Megan. Um,
Hello, John.
this is an interesting call here to have happen. I normally started off by saying it's good to see you. However, I normally see you.
I would hope so. You are my husband, or maybe right now roommate. I'm not sure what you're leaning at,
Exactly.
but I know what
Um,
you're saying. The sentiment. I gotcha.
yes. But it's always hard to see anybody like this or nobody really wants to see me anyway. So tell me what happened. Why am I seeing you this time?
Because Blake and Jeremy both voted to evict me, and they kept Amy.
Wow, woman of many words here. Um, so did you expect both of them to vote for you?
I knew Jeremy was doing it hours before, and I think um, Blake um, couldn't really make up his mind on his own, and sort of was influenced by others. But to each his own. It's fine. You know, they got a lot of splaining to do.
Okay. Um, so I mean, I saw you talking in your chat that you're a little nervous to go into the jury. What do you think the jury house is going to be like?
Hopefully, it'll be like one big fucking party where we can eat pretzels and chill, but probably not. I think some of them, won't won't care that I'm there, but they'll be like, "Oh, okay." But I think some of them are going to be like, "Why'd you do that to me? Why'd you do me dirty?" But it is a game. I mean, it sucks because the personal relationships you build. I struggle with that hardcore. You saw me cry the other night when I had to,
Mhm.
renom two of my favorite people.
Yeah.
So
So just be your damnedest, bring out the Boston and say, fuck this, this was my game. And these were the people that I was
mm,
closest with. And
yep.
pretty much tell them to fuck off.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't make promises I couldn't keep. I mean, I did. There were some people like, can I name specifics or no?
yeah, of course. They're not going to see this.
Well, they won't see this. Okay.
Nope.
Well, Michael, love him. I played broski with him. Was a surprise to see him play this, and of course, he was one of the first ones to reach out. Like when I play these games. Granted, this was my first Big Brother game, but when I start these games in general, if I see somebody I know, I typically will message them first, not in a oh my gosh, there's somebody I can work with. It's just more of a familiarity thing. So right away, I was like, hey, nice to see you. Blah 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 blah. And then, we kind of like we're both like, oh yeah, I've got your back, you've got mine. But like we didn't really talk much game till we got like closer and smaller in numbers. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, we could go to final two together. I'm like, Michael, where did this come from? We hadn't really talked about it, and I had a final two with Amy. Amy and I have been talking about it for a while. Maybe Amy meant it, maybe she didn't. That's neither here nor there, but I had that, and I had a pretty good connection with Steve. We're team 72. We were the two oldest people in the game. They kept the oldest person in the game beat 13 others, right? 13 others were out before me. So, little props to myself there. So,
There you go.
not
Um,
that, I mean, age is just a number, anyways, but
you never in these games though, it can mean a lot. Um, so
mm,
tell me, what would you have done differently if you could have done anything differently?
um, like, what do you mean? Like, how so? Like, different moves, different
Yeah,
votes,
different
different.
moves, anything. Like who
Um,
would you have tried to align with anybody else, gotten tighter with anybody else?
so I think for me, I probably would have tried to build alliances a little sooner. I'm very, very awkward. So, I mean, I love meeting people, but like, I had in my head, like, oh, I want to make an alliance with like, I don't know, I'm gonna use like Steve and Amy. Like, I would have tried to make one with like the three of them, but I'm so awkward because I didn't want to like bring it up in a conversation and then be like, oh, why does this bitch want to do that? Like, so I never really did that. But for me, I relied on my strong individual connections. Like I made really good connections with people, like on personal levels, but like in the game too. I said, hey, I've got your back. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm not gonna vote you, but like, like maybe I'll look out for you maybe a little more than like this person. I was able to use those connections, like, hey, I just got eliminated in fifth. So, I did something right.
Yeah.
I kind of played more of like middle, tried to be under the radar, tried to look like maybe I didn't quite know what was going on, but I knew what was going on. That was part of my shtick to like look like maybe I didn't, and it got me to the final five. So on one hand, my placement's on one hand. So for our
No.
first for our first Big Brother game that I've played, No, I think it went all right.
Um, what has been your favorite moment out of this whole entire season?
My favorite moment, probably, probably my favorite moment, I have to go way back to the beginning, is when we all had to vote our rankings of, like, who we wanted, like, 1 through 17 or whatever we did. Remember the lists we had to do at the very, very beginning? And I won the first people mover based on everybody submitting their list. That meant everybody thought highly of me from my intro video, and that made me feel really good because I don't think very highly of myself. Maybe that's not a great way to think, but I don't. But to see, like, I was first on that people mover, like it was me. Like that's everybody in general. Like I averaged out to be the top placement, so that was pretty sweet. But also, I know this is technically a second favorite moment, but really, meeting these 17 incredible human beings. Like some of them I got a little bit closer to because some of them, went out early, but like, you know, I just like meeting new people and making connections. Like I already have plans to go on vacation with one of them. Like it's cool. Yeah, Amy and I are gonna meet in Disney actually in February.
Well, there you
So,
go. Any final thoughts before I send you over to the fun house?
oh boy. Um, no, I mean, really, just I think prod you guys after show everybody. This, like I said, this was my first Big Brother game. I had an absolute blast. I know there were times where I bitched about it being so late, but again, I'm old, but also I'm a teacher and I get up early. But you know, I can't wait to recommend this to my friends to play, in the future and just, you know, Meaghan out. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's been fun and I'm glad I got to do this. And oh, a little shout out for Madison. Bang bang, 2 shots of rum.
There we go. All right. Well, like I said, you will have a say. Not this weekend, but the follow. No, it's this weekend.
Yeah.
Wow, it's already
Oh,
this coming weekend.
can I actually say one more thing? Now
Yep.
that well, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That's actually one of the things I'm excited for. Being my first Big Brother game, I made the jury, and that's pretty awesome. And I love still getting a say in how this game could turn out. So,
Exactly. Who are you rooting for at this point? I mean, I think I know what your answer is going to be, but who are you going to be rooting
oh,
for?
Amy, 100%. Aim in ranking order. I'd love to see Amy, Steve, and then Jeremy and Blake are two fantastic individuals, but I didn't really play very much with them, or not too much. Like Jeremy and I started to, and then they went total different direction at one point when we had talked about something else, and I'm just like, hmm. But
All right.
so like, yeah, no, I mean, I could see any of the four of them winning, but if I had to choose one, Amy.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, you get that final say. I'm going to go ahead and stop this.